The wind was cold that night. It moved slowly across the empty farmlands of Earth, touching everything with silence. The moon was high, and the stars looked like tiny white fires in the black sky. Farmer Eli stood on his porch, holding a cup of warm coffee, listening to the quiet. He had lived alone for many years now. The house was old, the paint was fading, and the fields were dry. His wife had passed away 5 winters ago. His children had moved to the cities. All that remained was the land and the memories. That night, something strange happened. Eli looked up and saw something falling from the sky. It wasn't a star. It was brighter, bigger, and it burned blue. The object moved fast, leaving fire behind it as it crashed toward the hills near his barn. The ground shook. Birds flew away. A loud boom echoed through the valley. Eli dropped his cup and ran. He didn't know why he was running. It could have been a meteor. It could have been dangerous. But something in his heart told him to go. Something deep inside him whispered, "This is not from Earth." When he reached the backfield, he saw a deep crater. The grass around it was black. Smoke was rising, and in the middle of the crater was someone. At first he thought it was an animal. Then, as he stepped closer, he froze. It was a dragon. She was tall and strong, but badly hurt. Her skin was covered in glowing purple scales. Her wings were torn and bleeding. Her tail moved slightly. She was breathing hard. She was not like the dragons in storybooks. This one looked alien. She looked up at Eli with golden eyes, full of pain and fear. Then Eli saw something else. Her stomach, it was large and glowing faintly. She was pregnant, and she was alone. Eli didn't move for a moment. This creature, whatever she was, had fallen from the sky and landed on his farm. She was wounded. She looked tired, but her eyes weren't wild. They were sad. They were begging for help. Eli slowly stepped forward, hands open. "It's all right," he whispered. "I won't hurt you." The dragon didn't speak, but Eli felt something inside his head. A soft voice, a gentle touch in his mind. "Help, please." Her name was Saphira. She came from a star system far away, the Varnic system. Her kind had been strong and wise, once rulers of their own world. But the Galactic Empire had attacked. They destroyed her people, burned her home, killed her family. Saphira was the last female of her kind. She was carrying the last egg. They had hunted her across space. She escaped, barely. Her ship was broken, and her energy was low. She had nowhere to go. Earth was her last chance. And now, she lay in a crater, hurt and afraid, begging a human for shelter. Eli didn't think twice. "Come on," he said softly. "Let's get you out of the cold." He brought blankets from the house. He laid them gently around her. He helped her up, though it took all his strength, and led her slowly to the barn. It was dusty and old, but it was warm. There was hay. There was shelter. Eli made her a bed. He brought her water and food. She ate quietly, always watching him. And that night, under the moon, a bond began to form. The next few days passed slowly. Eli worked on the farm like usual, but now, each morning, he stopped at the barn first. Saphira rested in the corner, hidden under old tools and wooden boards. Her wounds began to heal. Her wings moved again. She could sit up now. She couldn't speak out loud, but she sent him thoughts. He learned that her favorite food was apples. She liked warm water. She enjoyed the sound of birds in the morning. She learned that Eli was alone. His wife had died of sickness. He had no one to talk to. He lived a quiet life. He had lost too much but kept going. And now, for the first time in many years, he didn't feel lonely. He talked to her about the weather, about his crops, about old stories from Earth. She listened. Her eyes sparkled when he laughed. She tilted her head when he told her about dogs and cats. Sometimes, when the sun went down, she would hum softly in her language. It sounded like music from the stars. But danger was coming. One night, Saphira woke up shaking. Her eyes glowed bright. She looked toward the sky, her wings folding tightly. Eli rushed to her. "What is it?" he asked. Her voice entered his mind, filled with fear. "They found me. The Galactic Empire. They had tracked her here. They always tracked the last survivors. They wanted the egg inside her. They wanted to end her kind completely. They will come," she told him. Soon Eli stood still. He had no army, no weapons, no way to fight them. But he looked at her, this creature who had trusted him, who carried life inside her, and he knew he couldn't let her die. "You're safe here," he said. "I'll protect you." Saphira's eyes filled with tears. "Why?" she asked in his mind. "Because," he said, "that's what we humans do. The next morning, Eli began to prepare. He checked his old hunting rifle. It was dusty, but still worked. He moved fuel barrels near the barn. He set up wires and traps. He used his farming tools to build barriers. He didn't sleep that night. Neither did Saphira. She watched him work, her heart heavy. She had flown across galaxies. She had lost everything. And now, on a small planet full of soft green fields, a simple farmer was risking his life for her. It didn't make sense. It was beautiful. That evening, the sky changed. Dark ships appeared over the hills. They were quiet and black, like shadows with engines. They landed beyond the trees, and silver-armored soldiers stepped out. Eli saw them through his binoculars. "They're here," he whispered. "CPHIRA," curled around her belly, shielding the unborn egg hide. Eli said, "I'll deal with them." He kissed her forehead like she was family, and then he stepped outside into the night, ready to fight, ready to show the stars what humanity was made of. The night was silent, but not in a peaceful way. It was the kind of silence that comes before war. Eli stood near the barn, holding his old hunting rifle. His heart beat slow and heavy. The stars above were no longer calm. 3 black ships had landed in the woods beyond the field. Lights flickered in the trees. Shapes moved. The Galactic Empire was here. Inside the barn, Saphira lay hidden under the floor. Her glowing belly was still. Her breathing was soft, but her mind was full of fear. She could feel them, the hunters of her kind. They were close. They were coming for her and the baby. But this time, she was not alone. Eli had made her a promise. He would protect her, no matter what. The soldiers came in silence, tall and silver, with red lights glowing in their eyes. They moved like shadows. Across the field, they didn't speak, they didn't warn. They were trained to kill. Their orders were clear. Find the last Varnix dragon. Kill it. Destroy the egg. Eli didn't wait. He pressed the old switch he had rigged under the soil. Boom. A wall of fire rose from the field. One of the soldiers flew backward, hitting a tree. The others turned quickly, but now they knew. Someone was fighting back. Eli fired his rifle from behind the tractor. He aimed with care. One shot hit the metal leg of a soldier, making sparks fly. Another shot missed. He ducked before they returned fire, beams of red light burning holes in the fence. But he was not afraid. He had nothing to lose, and everything to protect. Saphira felt every explosion from inside the barn. She closed her eyes, sending her voice into Eli's mind. "Run, human. You cannot fight them. You will die." But Eli only smiled. "No, I'm not leaving your family now." Her eyes filled with tears. She had seen so many species in the galaxy, brave, many wise, but never had she met a creature like him. A simple man, a farmer, fighting against a galactic army. For her, outside, things grew worse. The soldiers broke through the fire and marched toward the barn. Eli ran from cover to cover, using every trap he had made. Wires triggered barrels. Smoke bombs filled the air. He kept them busy, but they were many, and he was one. One of the soldiers spotted him running across the chicken yard. A red beam struck Eli's leg. He fell with a cry. Blood stained the dirt. The soldier walked toward him slowly. Lifting its weapon, Saphira screamed loud and deep from inside the barn, not just with her mouth, but with her mind. "Stop." The soldier paused for 1 second. That was enough. Eli rolled to his side and fired. One last bullet straight through the soldier's chest. The machine twitched and dropped, but Eli was not okay. He crawled to the side of the barn, breathing hard. His body was weak. His vision was fading. Still, he smiled. Inside the barn, Saphira shook. She could not hide anymore. Her protector was dying. The father of her child, not by blood, but by heart, was bleeding for her. Something changed inside her. The pain was still there. Her body was heavy, but her wings opened. She rose from the floor like smoke rising from fire. Her scales began to glow brighter than before. Her eyes burned with a golden flame. The last of the Varnix dragons was not just a survivor anymore. She was a mother, and she was angry. The barn doors burst open. Saphira flew out into the night sky with a scream that shook the trees. Her body lit up the field like a small sun. Soldiers turned and aimed, but they were too slow. With one great breath, she released a storm of fire, not burning, but bright blue plasma. The Empire soldiers melted in seconds. Their ships powered up, ready to fly. But Saphira flew higher. Above them, her wings wide. She opened her mouth again and sent a wave of light into the sky. The ships cracked, crumbled, and exploded like glass under heat. Silence returned. Real silence. But this time, it was peace. She landed near Eli. His shirt was wet with blood. His eyes were half closed. But he smiled when he saw her. "I knew you could fly," he whispered. Sephyra wrapped her wing gently around him. "You saved us," she said in his mind. "You saved the future of my kind." Eli shook his head weakly. "No, I just did what anyone should do." Sephyra laid her head beside his. "I can help you," she said. She pressed her glowing forehead to his chest. Energy moved between them, pure and golden. It healed the burn, closed the wound, and brought warmth back to his heart. Eli gasped. He was alive. A few weeks passed. The news spoke of strange lights in the sky. Some said it was a meteor shower. Some said aliens. But no one found the wreckage. The Empire had erased itself in the fire. Sephyra stayed hidden in the barn, her body growing stronger each day. Eli built her a deeper shelter underground. He grew new food for her. He fixed the broken roof. And then, one morning, it happened. The egg hatched. A small creature, soft and glowing with silver scales, opened its eyes for the first time. It looked at Sephyra. Then it looked at Eli. And it smiled. Eli picked it up carefully. "Well, hello there," he said. "Welcome home." Sephyra watched with eyes full of joy. This was not the end of her story. It was a new beginning. The last of her kind had not just survived. She had found a place where life could start again. Not in palaces. Not in stars. But in a farmer's barn. On Earth. Moral of the story. Sometimes, the greatest hero in the galaxy isn't a soldier, or a king, or a warrior. It's a simple human with rough hands, a quiet heart, and the courage to care. Humanity. Yeah. ***.